Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm mad about a Blue Bird movie from 13 years ago. Okay, so in 2011, the movie Rio came out, and I was 7 years old at the time. I remember watching it on TV, but it didn't really stick out to me. I didn't particularly care for it. But recently I rewatched it, and it has made me irrationally angry, and I will explain why. So if you haven't seen the movie Rio, I'll give you a basic rundown of the plot. Basically, it's about a blue macaw who is smuggled as a baby and taken to America, where he then falls out of the back of the smuggler's truck in Minnesota and is found by this little girl called Linda, who then raises him. 15 years later, an ornithologist comes looking for him because he is supposedly the last male blue macaw in existence, and he and his team have found a female blue macaw for him to mate with, and they want to take him to Rio to meet her. Now, something important to note is that Blue can't fly. It's shown at multiple points throughout the movie. In the very beginning, when he's a baby bird in the tree, he falls out to the ground because he's unable to fly. When the ornithologist comes up and throws the bird, he falls because he's unable to fly. After this, he wants to prove to himself that he can fly, but when he tries, he's unable to. This is important. The bird is not able to fly. Remember this. Now, when they get to Rio and he meets Jewel, they end up getting captured by smugglers, and shenanigans ensue. They end up having to get away from the smugglers, and then they're chained together, so they have to figure that out. And Blue's inability to fly comes up a lot. When they're initially escaping, Jewel tries to fly, but he can't, so they end up just falling. When they end up in the jungle for the night, she wants to get them to higher ground, but he can't fly. Luckily, he's able to climb, though. He has adapted and can work around his limitations. There's even one point where they are trying to fly by catching a ride on paragliders, I think is what they're called. I don't really care. Anyway, he gets really into the feeling of flying and spreads his wings, and they both end up falling and almost fucking dying. Now, I am disabled. I'm a disabled person. I struggle with chronic pain and chronic illness that limits me in my ability to do a lot of different things. So seeing something like this represented in this stupid fucking Blue Bird movie with this bird that can't fly and is missing out on things because of it, that was really nice. I really was happy about that. There's even this one scene after Blue and Jewel get out of the chain that's holding them together where Jewel is like so happy and excited and she flies out and all the other bird friends fly and Blue has to just walk on the ground watching them fly and having fun and missing out. And I have been in that situation so many times where all my friends or family or whoever are doing something that looks like so much fun that I am physically unable to do, so I just have to miss out. Like, rewatching that movie both times that I have since I was 7, I cried at that scene. So far, this movie has been some incredible disability representation. It features a disabled character who can adapt to work around their own disability and is affected by their disability. The reason why I specify is affected by their disability is because there are a lot of disabled characters who are perfectly capable of keeping up with main characters or every other able-bodied character as if they weren't disabled. But there was a sneaking suspicion in the back of my mind that they were gonna do the thing. Because I had a little memory of watching the movie for the first time, and I was pretty sure they did the thing. And they did the thing. So a lot of stories featuring disabled characters tend to make the character's arc that they have to overcome their disability or become cured of it some other way. Either that or their disability turns out to be something special that actually made them better than everyone else all along. In this movie, they went the route of curing. Blue and Jewel end up in the back of the smuggler's plane and are able to free all of the other birds, and they open the hatch and they all fly away. And Jewel is like, come on, we gotta get out of here, but Blue can't fly, so she's like, okay, it's okay, and she stays behind with him, and it's a really sweet moment. And then Nigel, the smuggler's evil bird, shows up, and Jewel gets injured. A cage falls on her wing and she's not able to fly. She ends up falling out of the plane and Blue jumps out after her and catches her. And as they're falling, the stupid fucking birds kiss with their fucking bird beaks. And before they hit the water, Blue is magically able to fly again. Fuck this fuck-ass scene. Also, they're birds. Why are they kissing? Wait, is the kiss what made him able to fly? angry. It's bullshit. Like, that's not how disability works. You don't just overcome it at the last minute when you're about to die. Do you know what would happen in a real life situation with a disabled person who had to overcome their disability in order to survive? They would fucking die. Like, I know this is a kid's movie, so they can't die. That's fine. But the thing is, parrots float. Macaws are a type of parrot. Parrots float. If they had hit the water and then just not gone unconscious, they would have been fine just floating there for a little while Linda got a boat and came after them. Or she could have gotten a boat and come after them immediately and caught them on the boat. Or maybe their friends could have saved them. They could have had so many other ways for them to get out of this situation other than magically curing the main character's disability. Okay, I think I was trying to say healing and curing at the same time, and it came out as hearing. And when they do make him able to fly, it's like he was never unable to fly in the first place. I liked it better when the bird couldn't fly. Listen, I know this is a stupid kids movie from 13 years ago about blue birds, and it's really not that deep. But the implication that disabled people need to overcome their disability, or that they're simply not trying hard enough, or that if you persevere, you can push through anything, that is a very harmful thing to imply. When a disabled person tells you they can't do something, they mean they can't do it. For some reason, whenever I tell someone I can't do something, they interpret I can't as I am not confident in my ability to do this thing and need encouragement. When in reality, I'm saying I am physically incapable of doing this thing, or I know my body and its limits and know that if I do this thing, the repercussions will not be worth it. Anyway, more disabled characters that remain disabled and don't have to overcome their disability as their fucking main character, growth character arc, please. What I'm trying to say is there are plenty of ways to do disability representation without having your disabled character become cured by the end. You don't have to have them overcome their disability. You don't have to have them magically do something they weren't able to do before for them to be a worthwhile character. In most cases, a disabled person isn't going to overcome their disability, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with being disabled, and there is nothing wrong with accepting your limits in your disability. In fact, it's probably a good thing to set limits and accept them, because if you don't, you will push your body too far and end up in a worse position than you were in before. I understand wanting a disabled character having to confront their disability. Like, maybe they're in a situation where they have to do something that they're not able to do, but don't make them suddenly able to do the thing. Make it so they find another way to get out. That's what you have to do as a disabled person. You have to be resourceful. You have to find different ways of doing things and navigating the world, because it was not designed for you. It was designed for able-bodied people, and that's just something you have to learn to deal with as a disabled person. This was actually kind of partially represented when Blue was shown to be really good at climbing, because it makes sense that Blue would be really good at climbing and other handy things if he's not able to fly. I really liked this movie. I really wanted to like this movie. It's fun, it's funny, it's enjoyable. But then they made the fucking bird fly! Why did you make the bird fly? Disability is not an obstacle to overcome. Disability is not a character flaw that needs to be taken care of. Disability is just a disability. It is just a difference in ability, a lack of ability to do a certain thing, and the need for some accommodations in some cases. That's all. It's not a big, evil, scary thing. Obviously, it's not great. It's not ideal. I'm not happy to be disabled, but I am, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't just magically overcome my disability. I fucking tried, believe me. So seeing movies in which your disabled character just magically overcomes their disability, it doesn't help. It doesn't help to see that and think, great, I can't do that. It's really frustrating. Basically, in conclusion, write disabled characters who stay disabled at the end of your story. Stop writing characters who overcome their disability as their character arc. Disability representation is really important, and seeing a character like you on screen can be really impactful. So when you see this character that's like you do something you know you wouldn't be able to do, it doesn't feel great, you know? Anyway, I'm still mad about the stupid Blue Bird movie from 13 years ago, and I needed to make a YouTube video about it because I'm tired of just yelling. But okay, I was about to say I'm tired of just yelling by myself in my room, but that's literally what I'm doing right now. I'm yelling by myself in my room, so never mind. Anyway, stupid Blue Bird movie. Disabled people don't need to be fixed. The end. Thanks for watching.